Gotcha.
Man, seatbelt doing enough.
But
The neck broke.
I tap licking a tree. This one else again.
Man, he's dead, man. The whole line head chop off and big one.
What we have been able to gather is that a white Benz motor car was traveling along the road towards Ocherios when the driver attempted to negotiate a right-hand bend at a very fast rate of speed. He was not able to negotiate the corner. Instead, the vehicle went to the left of the roadway, collided with one tree, then went on to collide with two other trees. We recognize that this particular crash was as a result of extreme carelessness. A driver who is attempting to make a corner must slow down and approach it in a careful manner and ensure that he or she is able to negotiate it safely so that they will not be in a crash. We have to be much more careful on the roadway and stop giving away our lives in a needless manner.
Hey, wait. You can't lift this man. You can't lift him here. You can't lift him, man. Yes, sir. Boy, I'm win. Yeah, watch.
I'm asked to just around for a while ago, brother.
You mean no? Yeah, still.
I mean, the man just around for a while ago. I can't stone this about this one.
Stink like a dog.
Don't touch him, yeah. The man that did it, you know? The man that did it, you know?
You can't say that again. Carry my head.
Yeah, just dead.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz News and Entertainment with Buzz. The video that you just saw is of an incident that took place at the intersection of Hart Street and Canoldi Avenue, that is in Montego Bay, St. James, where it is said confirmed that at least 7 persons got conned up, one of them fatally. Everybody was rushed to the hospital. However, one of them did not make it. The identity of the deceased is not yet given. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. Based on the information, it is said that at about 5:45 p.m. prime time hours, some men in a vehicle, at least 4, alighted from the vehicle, all waving and blazing high-powered rifle. After the smoke cleared, like I said, 7 persons. Now, people, this is the heights of stupidity. This is the heights of evilness, where a group of men in a them house decide that it was a great idea to come out, everybody with high-powered rifle, and just spray it up at a group of innocent persons. I am assuming that there was a target, or I am assuming that there might be some idleness. But the question that I have to ask is this: what would possess 4 men in a vehicle, in the comfort of their homes, to decide that they are going to come out and spray up in a crowd of people? Even if there was a target, it does not justify. I am sure that most of the persons that got hit did not or have nothing to do with nothing, are not gang affiliates, just people going about their merry business, only to be shocked and awed by these lunatics. Now, people, it seems as if these criminal elements did not see the message in the bottle, Them never read the notice board. They don't see what is going on as it pertains to our present climate in Jamaica. That this new commish, Mr. Blake, Dr. Blake, is on a rampage to wipe out criminal elements. So I say this to say that what would possess them to put a bullseye on their own head, on their own lives? Because we know, based on recent history, whenever anything like this goes down, most of the people that are responsible are going to go down, as in the afterlife. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Hunger Belly, Licky Licky, Bribery Police, and people that appropriately applies to two constables, Georgiana Hunter and Burrell Masters, and their name appropriately applies to the story that I am going to tell. Because we see that these people are hunting for the money and masters of licky lickiness. Based on the information, it is said that both constables were charged for two incidents that took place, one on the 25th of March 2025, the other on the 26th of March 2025. Based on the information investigation, it is said that on or about the 25th of March 2025, both constables were working in Discovery Bay, which is in St. Anne's. They pulled over a trailer based on what they say breaches of the Road Traffic Act. They asked him or solicited $40,000 from the driver of that trailer. That driver told them that he was going to go to the ATM machine, get some money, and come back to pay for those breaches so that he would not have been prosecuted or ticketed. He left and he decided that he was going to take another route. He went to the power station and he made a report. Those two officers, Hunter and Masters, were under investigation immediately. As a matter of fact, they were before that, because if you see in two different separate days, both days they tried to solicit money, meaning bribery from motorists. On or about 24 hours later, the 26th of March 2025, a motorist was stopped again for breaches of the Road Traffic Act. That motorist was solicited for $40,000. That motorist decided that me not pay them the money, me not have the money to pay them, so I am going to go and tell them, trick them that I am going to get the money. However, that motorist, like the trailer driver, they went to the police station and they made formal reports. It is said that those two officers, Masters and Hunter, were under investigation back-to-back days. A sting was set up and they were stung. They were both caught with money from the proceeds of bribery, lickiness. They were immediately arrested. Both officers were charged and both officers went to court on Friday. Mrs. Hunter, she was given $500,000 bail with two sureties, and also she had to surrender her travel document. As it pertains to Mr. Master, he was not so fortunate because based on information from the prosecution, he tried to interfere with the investigation. Pretty much, he tried to threaten one of those motorists who are victims, are suspect, are key witnesses. Now, people, when we think about this is nothing new. This has been going on in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, as I speak or as we are watching this or listening to this right now, there is some officer that is out there that is licky, that is taking bribe for infractions of the Traffic Act. The money is not going to taxes to fix up the road or anything like that. It is going into the pocket of these licky, greedy officers. It is not good for business. It is not good for the country, because then you have people that are out there violating, causing death, causing injuries because of their bad habits on the road. And this is facilitated by criminal officers such as Hunter, such as Masters, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called you can't trust the police, you can't trust the preacher, you can't trust a politician, and worse, you can't trust a family member, and even worse. You cannot trust a friend that is desperate, that is going to promise you an opportunity that is better than that person's present situation financially. I am speaking about a crooked lady known as Kadeen Swaby. She's a pharmacy technician. She promised a friend of hers that she's going to get her a job opportunity in the Cayman Island. However, there was a small catch, as in excess of $270,000, meaning Jamaican. $250,000 Jamaican or more. Based on information, it is said that on or about April 20th, 2023, Kadeen Swaby contacted a friend and she said to her, "Boy, me know say nothing go on, you know. You know, so me have an uncle in the Cayman, a big man. Him have all sorts of job opportunity. It is going to cost you in excess of $270,000. Here is the procedures, here is the protocol. I will need your passport. I will need some money to initiate the employment process." The victim then gave her the passports and $18,000. You know that $18,000 went into Miss Swaby's pocket. Probably do some nails, do some hair, buy one liquor cheap slippers. On or about September of 2024, the victim asking Miss Swaby what is going on with that. She said, "Well, everything I come to right now, uncle said everything look good. It look like you qualify. You need an next $255,000 in excess of $250,000 Jamaican dollars was paid to her." After a couple of months pass, passports in a Miss Swaby hand, 273,000, don't quote me on the mathematics, was turned over to Miss Swaby. But peer promises, and like them say, a promise is a comfort to a fool. The victim, knowing Miss Swaby, being a friend of Miss Swaby, knows Miss Swaby's uncle's name. She then decided to go on social media and check or contact that uncle. When she contact the uncle say, "Listen, me there a box. Shit out a Agmouth na Cayman. Me not have no job opportunity. Me even not even employ myself. So I know how me gonna offer anybody any sorts of job opportunity." It was then that the victim contacted Miss Swaby and said, "Listen, please return my money before the end of 2024. Not but promises, not but run around. Like I've always said, a promise is a comfort to a fool." The victim then went to the popo station, made a formal report, identified and, not fingered, pointed out Mrs. Swaby. She was arrested on Thursday to Friday. She was officially charged for fraud and larceny, selling employment opportunities that she don't have for herself. Moral of the story is this: don't take promises from people that are not in good financial situation. And even if they are, make sure that you do your vetting process. And sometimes it is hard to do so, but me just say, don't buy puss in a bag. Always make sure that you can verify or validate. Talk to the person that is offering this job opportunity, especially if the person that is giving you the link look like them a suffer themselves. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called men, women out there, mothers and fathers. When you grow up your child, grow them up to have spine, grow them up to have backbone, grow them up to have balls, intestinal fortitude. Most of all, grow them up to be men, no girl clown. I am speaking about a story about a man that is known as Jamie Moore. He is from Galena. Galena is in St. Mary, ironically. It is said that Mr. Jamie went to Trinidad and Tobago. Ambitious youth, went for a job opportunity. He got married. He was married. He have a wife. While he was there working, it seems as if Joe Grind was working in a him gungo walk. That Joe Grind happens to be his best friend. Not only was the wife giving him bun, not only was his best friend and wife them cross a line that is not supposed to cross. It is said that the best friend even breed the wife. They have a little baby boy. It is said that when Mr. Jamie realized what was going on, him kind of he was very, very upset. Him decided that he was going to burn down the family home with everybody in it. Luckily, them escaped. However, you know that it was a very serious crime. It is said that Mr. Moore, then ran from Trinidad, well not run, jump on a jet plane and come back to Jamaica. He decided that when he knew that he was going to be hot and wanted in a Trinidad, him decided say him go at the hardware store, buy some rope, and take for himself like that new dance or the old dance, sorry. It is said that when his father, Mr. Moore, got wind of it, his father decided that his father's name is Wayne Moore, son's name Jamie Moore, father name Wayne Moore. It is said that the father, after he realized what the son had done and the circumstances as to why the son decided to take for himself, him decided to take for himself to under shame. Now, people, like me say, me don't know what type of decision people go through, what persons are going through. You see the trickle-down effects. Man left from Jamaica, get job opportunity. Married woman in a Trinidad. The woman decide to cheat. The woman have a baby with his best friend and people the truth. And the fact is that if your wife or girlfriend cheat, it is bad and not so bad as if them cheat with your best friend and even worse, have a baby. So therefore, she can't tell you say it wasn't me because there's evidence in her womb to say that it is her and the child is not yours. However, when the father take it to heart, and I don't know if it is because of shame, because we know that some parents, they are very proud. False pride will lead people to do stuff. So even though he was not the one that was responsible, meaning the father, Wayne Moore, Jamie Moore was the one that did his deed in Trinidad. The father was so ashamed that he decided that he could not face reality. People, a very sad state of affair. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that Mocha, they are cracking down on phishing fraud in the bank, whether it is credit card, debit card, or transferring money illegally from persons' accounts. One of those big accounts or big cases involved in excess of $47.5 million from the NCB Bank. So based on the progress of the investigation, at least 14 persons are presently in custody. So when we do the mathematics, at least 3 million per person, you have to ask yourself risk analysis. Is it worth it? But we see some people desperate. Two of the latest arrests were made in a Portmore and Cassava piece, volatile communities again. I wanted to take a look to what one of the heads of MOCA has to say as it pertains to that investigation, and then I'll give my piece.
This operation this morning demonstrates our continued mission to break the back of this particular crime. In all, I think we've arrested about 14 persons to date, and we expect that these arrests will continue. As is typical, whenever we execute these search and arrest warrants, we typically find a number of evidentiary items which we will take into custody for processing. This morning's operation was no different. We have brought in a number of items to process. Those items would include electronic data, may include electronic devices as well. But until the search is conducted, it's difficult to say exactly what we've been able to recover here. There are about 88,000 instances of fraud and cybercrime reported in 2023, according to the latest Statin report. But at the same time, less than a third of those were reported to the police. We believe that bad things happen when good people do nothing, and so we're encouraging persons to not only stay vigilant in their online activity, but to also report instances of fraud and cybercrime such as these to either the MOCA tip line or to one of our law enforcement partners.
So, people, you heard what Mr. Jarrett has to say. In excess of 82,000 cases over a 1 year span. If you do the maths, it is 225 or so cases per day in a Jamaica. 82,000 officially, that is not reported, cases that come to their attention. However, less than 1/3 of those cases were actually reported. So we are speaking about 20 something, probably 28 or so. Don't quote me on the maths. Now, people, here's the thing. When people desperate, they will do just about anything. And until them get catch, them are going to tell themselves, maybe I am one of the only ones that are going to get away. Because all of these crimes include paper trail. That means somebody must present some sort of identification to get the money into their account and then transfer them take for them part and then the scammer them take for them part. But somebody is going to be arrested or at least in some sorts of problem. So I want you to take a look to what NCB has to say with the plans or new things that they are doing to make sure they can safeguard their account holders. Take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Lowering daily limits, and by reducing the amount that cyber criminals can withdraw or transfer from compromised accounts. Or block/unblock block feature, which is available both on credit and debit cards, which gives our customers the ability to control whether their cards are active or inactive, thereby giving them greater control over the security of their cards. Two-factor authentication, the use of RSA tokens, which enhances the account security and also reduces the fraud risk of doing online transactions. We have hosted impactful events such as our Think Like a Hacker and Reward for Online Safety Symposiums, both online and on our YouTube pages. And these are held with smaller cybersecurity sessions, providing valuable insights both to our customers and stakeholders on identifying and mitigating online threats. Other customer education initiatives, such as our campaign, such as Think Before You Click, and we stand by our customers with transparent investigations and policies for fraud cases, reimbursing losses when no customer action has contributed to fraud. So NCB's consistent focus is on maintaining trust, advancing security measures, and fostering a culture of vigilance. Together with our partners like Crime Stop, we're committed to creating a secure financial ecosystem.
So, people, you heard what the experts had to say. They are beefing up the security as it pertains to phishing. They are going to minimize or make it have people have less access to the amount of money that they can use through their accounts. You as the account holder can block, put on freeze and release whenever you want your card to be used. There's going to be a 2-stage authentication process in which will alleviate some of the fraud. They are going to be transparent as it pertains to the investigation. They are going to reimburse the victims of their losses. Now, people, based on what we've seen so far, it takes forever and a day for you to get through to the NCB to get any sorts of favorable results. Is that going to be the case moving forward? It is yet to be determined. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.